All right, for the next video, we're going to go over our most important script. This is our main script that we use as we talk to sellers on the phone or in person. The script is called our acquisition script. You'll find this in the Google Drive in our acquisitions vault. In the acquisitions vault, you'll see it's broken down into our company scripts, documents, company contracts. The folder we're looking for is company scripts. And here you will find our acquisitions script, name acquisition script. All right, so here's our script that we use. We have adjusted and tweaked the script to perfection. The script is broken down into 4 different sections, as you see before you: the introduction, pre-qual, qualify, questions that you ask, and the last section is close, negotiation types and close. So broken down into those 2 sections between these 2 pages. All right, so in the script, I'm just going to do a run through on how I would do the call, and you can get a feel for how the call flow should be when talking to sellers. So when phone rings, you'll start with, hey, Ms. Smith, this is Kelly giving a call with Cash Hopper Homes. Did I catch you at a good time? This gives them the opportunity to, pretty much give you leeway to let you know they have time to talk or they don't. In the event that a seller does not have time, or they say I'm at work or I'm on the road, they give you a reason. Even if they don't say it's a good time, you always want to say, hey, that sounds like you're busy. I'd love to give you a call back at a better time. What's a good time for you? This engages the seller to want to figure out, what you're calling about, and it's also respectful for them because they see that you are sincere and you care about their time and the time frame you've called them in. So in the intro, hey, Ms. Smith, my name is Kelly. I'm glad I had a chance to catch up with you. Did I catch you at a good time? In your introduction. Going to the next section, pre-qual. This is where we pre-qualify them by asking, great, my team is purchasing properties in your area. I want to make a cash offer on your property. Have you thought about selling 2417 Havenwood Drive? And this is just an example that we use and you always want to make sure you drop the address so you know that, so they know that you're talking about their property rather than just have you thought about selling your home. We're calling the specifics in regards to their property. The next section is the full qualify. So we let them know, great, if they're interested in selling, great. Our process is very simple. Just need to ask you a few basic questions about the property so I can evaluate it to its entirety here from my computer. This process takes 7 minutes. How's that sound? Or sounds good? So this lets them know, hey, I need 7 minutes of your time. I got some questions to ask you, and this is how I can get to your cash offer. And then you roll right into, great. So just a little bit about who we are. We're a real estate investing company working throughout the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And I also let them know we're located near the Dallas Cowboys Stadium, just so they know we're local. And before I continue, I want to inform you that we work with a private list of capital partners and other buyers that may show interest in your property, whom we will present this contract to with equitable interest. Does that make sense? So this is to qualify. This lets them know that, hey, we're going to ask you questions. We need 7 minutes of your time. We are a real estate investing company. We are going to be working with capital partners and buyers that will purchase the contract from us. So once they get the clarity on that, this is where you give them, they give you full consent to move forward. So if that makes sense to them, you then follow up with saying, great. So just to share with you, we don't buy every property we look at. So in the event that we're not a great fit to buy, we also have an experienced company in-house realtor that can assist you with selling your property. How does that sound? And then, you let them know, hey, if we're not a good fit for each other, we can list it to get them what they're looking for. And this is just in the event that the wholesaling numbers don't work out. So we let them know ahead of time. And we always have a way to go, even if we're not the ones that take care of them personally. So after that, you roll into the questions. So tell me a little bit about the property, like the condition of the house, the beds, the bath, things like that. This gives a wide open question for them to answer all the following, which are in parentheses. And you want to make sure you take your time and get each and every section of the house and each section of that list that you see here answered. So, how are the bedrooms? How are the bathrooms? How is the kitchen? How is the roof? How old is it? How is the electric? How is the plumbing? How is the foundation, etc. You want to ask them section by section so you get a clear idea of what your buyer is going to buy from you. So after you ask them, just that general question, tell me a little bit about the property. The next question is, have the kitchen and bathrooms been updated lately? This lets you know if the house has been updated or it has not, or if it just needs a lot of work. This will give you a great idea of what's going on with the kitchen and bath. All right, and then the next thing you want to compliment them. Hey, sounds like a great home. We're very surprised. Sounds like a great home and sound surprised. Why are you looking to sell it? This gives us an idea of, we're pretty much without asking, what's going on with the process of this home. Why are you selling this house? Without asking, why are you selling it? We also give them a compliment. Take your time here and use your frogs technique so we can find the motivation to sell. If you do not know the motivation of why the seller is selling, you may not know why you're doing a deal. Just a rule of thumb. All right, next thing, if we present you an offer that made sense to you, Ms. Smith, when you'd be ready to sell? So just as we've referenced in Podio, we want to find out how soon they're looking to sell, whether immediately, next week, couple months. Is there a roadblock that's keeping us from working and doing the deal right away? Next bullet point, considering condition, Ms. Smith. You told me the roof is 20 years old and the foundation's not too good and the flooring needs to be replaced. Just reiterating those repairs. Did you have an idea as to what this house might be worth or what you were thinking it would sell for? This question is very, very important. You don't want to leave it out, because this can give you the upper hand on if you found out how much that they're asking. Because he who talks first loses. All right, page 2, no price. Don't give a set price, only give ranges. Price given, move to negotiate and close. So if we do give a price, you go ahead and move to negotiate, move to a close. If you have to, negotiate. If you don't give a price, you give a range. We'll go in more in depth. So the next thing is negotiating types. So this is after your questioning. When we end the call, we want to go into the close. So the close is next. We only use negotiations if they declined our close. So after the first page with the questioning, you're going to go into the close. So you thank them by, let them know, thank you for answering all my questions. Let me run my numbers, Ms. Smith, and I'm going to call you back. Are you free within the next hour? Are you free by 5 o'clock p.m. today? Okay, great. I'll call you back then. Okay, so on the call back, okay, let me do this. I'm going to speak with my partner real quick to see if we can do that price. That's if you have a price, if they've given you a price. I'm not, and then after that, you're going to say, I'm not sure. Excuse me. So, okay, let me do this. I'm going to speak to my partner real quick to see if we can do that price. I'm not sure if we can, but if we can do this price, is this something you'd be ready to move forward with today? And then you let them know, perfect, let me speak to my partner real quick, and is it okay I'll call you back in 10 or 15 minutes? This is if they have an offer and you have your comps on another screen and you know what you can offer. If you do not know what you can offer and they gave you an offer, you just want to end it here and not let them know you'll call them back in 15 minutes. Just let them know, let me run my numbers and I'm going to call you back. Are you free by the end of today? Are you free an hour from now? The callback close. So calling her back, hey, Ms. Smith, it's Kelly. I just spoke with you a few minutes ago about the property on 2417 Havenwood. Is still a good time for you? Perfect. Okay, so I've got some great news. It looks like we can do that price. So the next step is I'm going to send you over an email with the purchase agreement. What's the best email for you? All right, great. So when will you be able to get in front of your computer to access your email? We asked this question because we are always going to go over the contract with the seller in person. We have a 2-page purchase agreement. It's super easy. It takes about 5 to 10 minutes for them to go over it with you over the phone so they can execute the agreement. In the event that they decline the offer, we're going to use these 4 negotiation types, these 3 negotiation types, to see if we can wrap the deal up. The meet in the middle clause. So if they're at a number and we're at a number, and if we're winning in the deal, we want to meet in the middle and see if they'll meet us halfway. Usually we use this tactic if we're very close, typically within $10,000 apart. Draw a silent scribble clause. So after crunching my numbers, the best price I can do, Ms. Smith, is $123,313. We use this extra, the last 3 numbers, we do a crazy weird number to let them know pretty much we've crunched our numbers to the dollar. This is a scribble clause, so they think that you have, pretty much crunched it to the dollar and put your best foot forward. And lastly is the best you can do clause. So Ms. Smith, if we got this all done for you today, what is the best number you can do? This is, again, if they decline our offer and we need the best that they can let us do. So this is the point where we can get an approval and see if we can wrap it up based on the best offer that they would take. And this concludes our acquisitions script.